Eddie Hearn, we're here at the home of Gibraltar Rugby for the weigh-in. It's not a bad setting. Yeah. Well, were we expecting to be indoors? Was this a late arrangement?
No, we originally had the ballroom booked at the hotel, and I just thought, I mean, we've been stuck in for a year. Shouldn't we get out? And look at that backdrop; it's spectacular. So great for the TV, great for building the show, great for showcasing Gibraltar. So we're here, a couple of minutes away from the weigh-in.
And only a day away from the fight. How has it been so far? Obviously a massive operation, this whole promotion. How's it gone?
Well, touch wood, it's gone spectacularly well. I mean, you've been a part of it. I think pretty much seamless so far, which is a bit worrying. But we're just excited, to get in there tomorrow night. It's been fantastic. Like I said, the team at Matchroom done a fantastic job. Sports Minister, the Chief Minister in Gibraltar, has been a big success. And tomorrow night, they get a show. I mean, I still, you see people waiting outside the hotel. I don't think they can believe what's happening here. It's a massive fight, massive event, and they're lucky to have it.
Do you think you'll be back?
Yeah, I think, what you realise is there's obviously an expat community here, but also a community of people who understand sport and like boxing. So the venue we're going to tomorrow night only holds 1,500, which is about the right kind of size. But yeah, I mean, the sort of foundations have been built here now, haven't they, to do something in the future, so we'll see.
And obviously this rematch has come a lot later than, Dillian hoped, but, a couple of postponements. But it's finally here, and Dillian says himself, biggest fight of his career.
Yeah, by far. I mean, it's the fight of his career. He has to win this fight. I mean, the rematch has actually probably come at the time that you'd expect the rematch to happen. It's just that it was originally planned for November, which was a really fast turnaround that a lot of people felt was too early for Dillian Whyte. So we'll have to see. I think it's going to suit probably both guys. Obviously, Povetkin was ill last year, so he's had time to recover to 100%. Dillian Whyte has had a chance to, whether he thinks he needed it or not, just refocus and evaluate himself after the knockout defeat. Everyone's 100%, everyone's ready to go. Both teams extremely confident. Dillian's a little bit edgy, as you'd expect, because it's absolute must-win, and it's going to be such a dramatic fight. Literally anything can happen in this fight at any moment. Both guys with the power to take each other out with one shot.
And we're told Alexander Povetkin had COVID, went to hospital badly apparently, but Dillian Whyte has said he don't quite believe that. He's asking for the evidence. As far as you're concerned, is it true?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know Andre Rybinski, I know the World of Boxing team well. I've seen him, pictures of him or, in getting treatment. This was back in October. And I know that, the fight was originally scheduled for January the 30th. They just felt that he wouldn't be 100% for January the 30th. So the doctors said, look, we think he should resume training. These guys, they do things properly. World of Boxing, Andre Rybinski, Povetkin, they're desperate to win this fight. They wanted him to be 100%. They got their wish. Dillian Whyte, probably don't trust a lot of people, so he thinks it was just to delay the fight. I don't believe so, but it's irrelevant because on Saturday they do battle.
You say it's irrelevant. Do you think it could be an issue in this fight? Obviously the nature of COVID, coming into a fight as an athlete.
No, because they would never take the fight, they would never accept the fight, they would never let him go back to full training if he wasn't 100%. So I know people have been sparring Povetkin, they've been doing many rounds. It's irrelevant in this fight. And to be honest with you, I don't think this goes more than 8 rounds anyway. So I think someone's getting cleaned out.
If that is Dillian Whyte and he doesn't win this fight, what does that do for his world title aspirations?
It crushes him. Dillian's always going to be exciting, always going to be in big fights. But in terms of getting in that queue for a world title, defeat here would put him right to the back of that. So it's unthinkable for Dillian Whyte to lose in terms of his world championship ambitions. But people keep saying, oh, what's next? Just Saturday night. This fight is so important, it's so big. He must win on Saturday.
What's been the situation with drug testing for this fight?
VADA testing, full VADA testing from before the first fight. So that was back in April, May. And then there was after the first fight, it stopped because obviously they didn't agree to rematch. And 3 weeks later, it commenced again because the rematch was agreed so quickly. And from that date till this date, it hasn't stopped. Even when Povetkin had COVID, he was still being tested by VADA. It's actually cost them $40,000 in VADA testing because of the delays. So they have not been off VADA testing from back since September.
And Dillian still on UK whereabouts?
Absolutely, and been tested plenty of times out here as well. So it's great for the sport that the fighters, people like Dillian Whyte, people like Povetkin say, no, we're more than happy. And the only way really I think you can fully combat this is with full VADA testing. It's incredibly expensive and you can't do it for every single fight. So UKAD do a great job as well because of their random testing program. But you know, full VADA testing ultimately must be in place for all big fights.
How many times, roughly, ballpark figure, do you reckon they've been tested since the first fight was?
20. Probably more, yeah, more. I mean, we get the report every time they're tested. Both teams get the report to say, this is when the test took place, these are the results. So it's a fantastic programme.
Just want to have a couple of picks on the undercard. First of all, Chris Congo against Michael Mackinson, just a great all-British fight.
Really good fight. I mean, you know, Mickinson's quite awkward. Congo's got to impose himself early on that fight. Two guys that are actually widely avoided, both saying, look, we'll take the opportunity against each other. It's a great fight. JJ Metcalf against Ted Cheeseman, brilliant fight. That one's not going to be awkward. That's going to be an all-out war. And so many other intriguing fights. Kamari against Kane Baker, Nick Webb against Pfeiffer. Look out for that one. I like that. And of course, Campbell Hatton makes his debut as well. And Fabio Wardley steps up in a big fight as well.
What's the sort of big plan with Campbell Hatton? Because he's spoken himself, and his dad as well have spoken about the parallels with Conor Benn, who was raw when he turned over really early. Do you see it as a similar journey to Conor Benn?
A lot. You know, both incredibly raw. I mean, Conor, when he first started, bless him, you know, he was slung into an AJ undercard at the O2. He was all over the place, and what he's done has been phenomenal. Campbell's the same kind of level as Conor when he started. Got to take it really, really slow. He's excitable, he's keen, like Conor was, and it took Conor a while to understand the game. And Campbell will understand it as well. He just needs time. Box him every month, just learning. He's only a baby, you know. And unfortunately, as we found with Conor Benn early in the career, sometimes you can come unstuck against a guy you should be beating because of the occasion, because of, you know, how excitable you are. So Campbell's just got to stay calm, hopefully get the win on Saturday, and then move on just for another year or two of boxing him around and learning the sport.
And can't speak to you without asking Joshua Fury update. It seems to be a moving feast. What's the sort of latest on it?
Nothing really since I spoke to you 2 days ago or whatever it was. We go away next week for a number of meetings, ongoing conversations with sites and Top Rank and everybody this week. I see no reason to stay on track that you should get an announcement in the next 3 weeks with the official date and venue.
So there's no part of you, the hope is diminishing that this doesn't happen in the summer?
No, I mean, we're never going to be short of an offer for this fight. So we just got to marry it together, make sure the fighters are happy and get it done.
And Joshua is in Miami at the moment. Is he training? That's the rumour.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't confirm that.
No.
He's in camp though.
He's in camp?
Yeah.
In Miami?
I haven't spoken to him for a couple of months, I don't know.
You didn't speak to him yesterday?
I don't know.
So you can't confirm whether Joshua's in Miami or not, but he's in camp, is he?
What I can confirm is he's in training camp for the fight.
Wherever that might be.
Correct.
And as far as he's concerned, there's no other option.
He's fighting in June or July. That's it.
Just one on that. Obviously, this is for the WBC interim. Now, the problem with that fight, Joshua Fury, is WBO is going to be the next one after that. So, in an ideal world, are you thinking the two fights, Joshua Fury, the WBO, and then...
No, the WBO won't wait for that. You know, ultimately, only the first fight will be undisputed. That's why the fight must take place this summer. That's why it is taking place this summer. Because to be undisputed, it has to take place this summer.
So then they'll effectively instantly get... Never defend it?
Unlikely.
Right. And then, the WBC route.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens. Listen, after you win all the belts,
Doesn't matter.
the rest is kind of irrelevant.